Here's the thing. I think everyone and their mom understands the phrase that history is written by the winners, right? And one of the only times it doesn't apply is the Civil War. No shit, right? Civil War happens, Reconstruction begins, and it is cut short. Why is it cut short? Northern white apathy. We'll talk about that another time. However, with the fall of the Klan, which is around 1870, 1871 with the Enforcement Acts, the things that spring up in its place, in its stead, are much worse. We've got the red shirts, we've got the Knights of the White Camellia, we've got the white elite. Now, these are people who are violent white supremacists, and they don't wear hoods. When people are covering their face, they have something to hide. When they're not covering their face, it's a little bit more worrisome, if we're being honest, right? So, in conjunction with these groups, who lead the Opelousas Massacre, that's the one Knights of the White Camellia, who lead an actual coup on the city government of Wilmington in 1899, that's the red shirts, who flank their candidates with guns and say, you should vote for them, and if you don't, we're going to put a noose around your neck, right? And if you want to hear more about this, you should listen to American History Tellers. It's a podcast. They have a Reconstruction era section. I'm also reading Confederates in the Attic. That is a more modern day retelling of where the South is around their lost cause narrative today, right? So these white supremacist groups, in conjunction with the Daughters of Confederacy, who changed the narrative around the actual way we teach the Civil War, that is part of why we're seeing issues today. The other part is that we just don't like to talk about our own history. We're not comfortable with it, and God forbid people be uncomfortable and grow and learn and change. But that violent white supremacy, the reason George C. Rabel says, and I'm going to paraphrase here, the reason why the Klan failed is because it could not change the trajectory of the Republican state governments, right? And then the Knights of the White Camellia, the red shirts, and the White League, among others, do exactly that. There are parishes in Louisiana that will not register one single vote for the opposition party. And that'll be for years. And it's not because people didn't want to vote for them. It's because they were violently driven out. They were murdered. They were fed to alligators. People literally tried to escape with their lives through fucking marshes. You know what I'm saying? So that violent white supremacy mixed with the Daughters of Confederacy, mixed with changing the curriculum, is part of why we are where we are today. Because the victors didn't write the history. The victors didn't stay around long enough to make sure that freed, enslaved folks had a safe, comfortable existence. They didn't stay long enough for that. And they didn't make sure that we were actually honest about the history that we had. And part of that is because of the northern white apathy, but also there was sympathy towards the Confederacy cause. New York City, there was a mayor who tried to get New York City to secede with the South. There's a lot here. I'm going to stop for now.